And when you're ready, find a comfortable seat and maybe draw your eyes closed for the beginning of class if that feels good for you. Before we start our shamatha meditation, let's take a couple of moments to arrive here and now, to just let ourselves become present in this moment. Take a moment to simply release everything you've done today. All the conversations, all the things that you did. Imagine it all drifting away from you. Let it all go. And begin to meet yourself in present time. Maybe even taking an outside perspective, looking in at yourself, simply sitting in the room that you are in. Imagine looking at yourself outside looking in. All you're doing is sitting with your eyes potentially closed, taking time for you. So allow yourself to embody the present moment, to be here with you. And for the next 10 minutes or so, give yourself permission to just truly be here and now. Anything that is left to do can wait. This time is for you. Maybe you take a couple big cleansing breaths, just oxygenating the body, feeling the lungs fully expand and contract, relaxing the face as you do so. And as we're here, I'd like to share a quote with you today. Today's quote is from the Dalai Lama. And the quote goes like this: "Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck." And I'll repeat that one more time. Remember that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck. So maybe you can think back to some time in your life where you were really working towards something or really thought you wanted something in particular in your life. And maybe it didn't end up working out, but you realize maybe in the long term that that was actually for the best. Sometimes we can be short-sighted in our lives, thinking that we want something and we really work towards it and we don't think anything else could work out, any other possibility, but we end up realizing, maybe when that doesn't happen, that there was a bigger picture, that we didn't have all the details at a certain moment of time to realize that something else bigger was in the works, or something else was in the big plan of the world, and that was actually what was right for you. So think about maybe anything that you may be grasping at right now, something you're really trying to take hold in your life. Something maybe that it feels like you're up against a wall against, and maybe you don't have anything like this in your life right now, so you reflect upon a time in the past when this has happened for you. But just realize that sometimes the best thing that can happen is certain things not working out. I know in particular there's many times when I can look back in my life and connect the dots looking backwards. It's difficult to connect them looking forwards, but we realize that there is this bigger force at work that sometimes our own human minds can't quite grasp. So take a moment or two, reflect upon the quote, remembering that sometimes not getting what you want may be the greatest, most luckiest thing that could happen. And as you approach this week, if this is something that you want to kind of make the theme of your week, or just something to think about right now, but if it's the theme of your week, bringing into your awareness throughout the week, through times when you feel like you're pushing in life, the idea that we really, really try to work out ourselves of the word should. So should is something when we say reality is one way, but we feel like it should be a different way. We fight with reality saying, no, that shouldn't be that way, or this should be that way. Peace comes from loving what is. So in other words, erasing that word should and finding love for the way things are. So again, sometimes when we realize outside the moment that things that worked out or didn't work out were for the best, we can find that in the moment by just loving what is right now. So take a moment or two before we transition to maybe wrap up any thinking, thoughts, contemplation around the quote, around the idea of letting go of shoulds, finding peace in what is, and realizing that sometimes there's bigger things at work that we just don't understand right now. And whenever you are ready to meet me for our shamatha meditation, we'll meet in a cozy seated posture that can be with the legs crossed, seated on a cushion or the ground. If you're on a chair or couch of any sorts, scoot forward enough so the knees are directly above the ankles. Hands rest on the upper thighs or on the knees. And if your eyes are closed when you're ready, begin to peel them open and find somewhere to look on the ground just ahead of you, about 3 to 6 feet. And we'll meet up in that posture. Begin to draw your awareness inwards towards your body. Again, releasing any thoughts or anything around what we just went through. It's time to meditate. Allow the legs, the feet, the hips, and your seat to melt down towards the ground beneath you, getting heavy. Release any sort of holding within the legs. Begin to lift through the spine, stacking every vertebra one on top of another, all the way through the back of your neck, lifting, sitting nice and tall. Allow the shoulders to soften down the back body as you relax the arms by your sides. Hands melt toward the legs. Open the space around your heart, soften the chest, and relax your belly, just allowing it to sort of distend outwards. The front of the body is soft and open. The back of the body is strong and lifted. Our seat is grounded, yet the head reaches up towards the ethers. So continue to lift the crown of the head up towards the ceiling, relaxing, opening the top of the head, softening your facial expression. So relaxing the forehead, the eyes, softening the cheekbones and the jaw. Relax the ears. Soften your back of your head. And as you look down towards the ground, relax your gaze. So just allow the visual field to enter through your eyes rather than holding and grasping at one point in particular. Allow your eyes to simply see. And begin to connect with the feeling of your breath. Where do you feel the breath in your body throughout your inhales and your exhales? Maybe it's just in one region. Maybe you feel multiple areas at different points of the breath. Begin to explore feeling the breath, almost becoming like an internal investigator. Feel your body, allow your mind to rest on the breath. Notice how it feels to breathe. And as we're here feeling the breath, that's all that we have to do right now. However, the mind is most likely going to begin to think while we are resting here with the breath. When the mind thinks, there is nothing wrong with it. That's its job. We're not here to judge it or condemn it. We're here to simply be with it. The mind should think. That's its job. When we think that it should not be thinking right now and we should only feel our breath, that's where disruption is caused. The mind should think, and when it does, two things may happen. One of which is that you'll notice little thoughts in the background, maybe tiny distractions within and around you, but you'll be able to stay with the task at hand of feeling the breath in the body. When that happens, let yourself be. That is perfectly fine. However, when those little distractions, thoughts, things in the background make their way to the forefront, so much so that your mind takes you totally away from the task at hand, feeling the breath, that's perfectly fine as well. However, in that situation, we are going to label it thinking and simply come back to feeling the breath. So take some time to practice this technique. Be patient with yourself, be kind to yourself, and just allow yourself to be exactly as you are right now. Feel the breath. When you get totally distracted, label it thinking, and find your way back. Gently begin to draw your practice to a close. Maybe you add subtle movements to the body, or gently draw the eyes closed. Find what feels good. We'll eventually meet up with the palms touching at heart center and eyes gently closed. Take a couple of moments to consciously observe how you feel right now. Bring your awareness to your mind, to your head space. What word describes the state of your mind? Gently draw your awareness to your body, give it a scan. How does it feel? And tune into your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel in this moment? And gently give yourself a big smile and really thank yourself for showing up here today, for dedicating your time, your energy to your practice, your health, and your life. And no matter how your practice went tonight, the goal is not to make it go a certain way. We are here to simply be with ourselves as we are, to find love for the space we're in and the practice itself. So thank yourself for showing up. Thank you so very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me and everybody else who joined in. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.